Hello everyone, welcome back to Curtain Up, my monthly series where I catch you up on all things theatre related that I've been up to in the past month. I cannot believe how quickly June has flown by, and I can't believe how good a month it has been. I think honestly it's been like the best month for me in terms of theatre and kind of life and mood. If you watched Curtain Up from May, I was a bit depressed, so it feels like a complete different year in a way this month. It's really incredible how much my mood and attitude has changed, and I'm so grateful, because does anyone like being depressed? No, probably not. As I said, I've been very busy, very busy, so I'm just gonna start talking. So the first theatre thing that happened in June, honestly the first weekend of June was just incredible. So literally, first day of June, I went to the Apollo Victoria Theatre, not to see Wicked, but to go on stage at Wicked and be part of the Theatre Lounge live event. This is a little thing run by Official London Theatre. They do it on their Facebook page, they do a Facebook Live, and this was like reintroducing the series. I think they'd taken a little bit of a break from it. So yeah, a group of us got to sit on the Shiz school benches, we got to sit on the Wicked stage, and Alice Fern and Sophie Evans performed. They did a Q&A, and then we got to chat with them again afterwards, not with the cameras running and everything. It was incredible. It was very surreal being as hardcore a Wicked fan that I am, to just look back and think, wow, if you told me in 2012 that one day I'd be sat on the Apollo Victoria stage as an Elphaba and a Glinda performed like a metre half in front of me, and it was just very overwhelming, and I kept my cool. I'm really glad, I didn't burst into tears or anything, but I was just like, whoa, the definition of shook is me in that day. It was amazing, and I managed to vlog some bits of it, which was great. I would have been really sad if we weren't able to take any photos or anything. So obviously, as usual, anything that has been vlogged will be linked down below, so if you want to see the full vlogs and everything, you can go check those out. But yeah, it was such an amazing day, and I'm just so grateful that I got to be part of that. It was incredible. And then the next day was very exciting as well, because I did a 2-show day with Sean. Most of you know Sean. He is on my channel a lot at the moment because we've been seeing each other loads, which is just wonderful. It's so funny, I feel like in the first 5 months of the year we didn't have that much planned together, and then suddenly we were doing so much in June, which is just amazing. So we did a 2-show day, and we started things off with Everybody's Talking About Jamie. This was quite a last minute decision. We just wanted to see something fun and uplifting. We were originally going to see Brief Encounter that afternoon. We hadn't booked tickets or anything. It was just kind of a loose plan. And then Sean was like, actually, I kind of fancy seeing the Book of Mormon maybe. So I tried the lottery for it, but because it was a Saturday afternoon, obviously it's quite hard to win the Book of Mormon lottery on a Saturday. So instead we managed to get some really good cheap seats for Everybody's Talking About Jamie. This was the second time that both of us had seen the show, and both of us had the same opinions pretty much on it. We kind of enjoyed it in the moment, and then the more we thought about it afterwards, we were just easily finding more things that we didn't like about it. But on a second viewing, we both definitely enjoyed it more. There will be a full vlog with our opinions. That'll be up soon. So yeah, we definitely enjoyed it more, and yeah, it was really great to see it. And actually, I really want to see it again now. Jumping ahead a little bit, but Luke Bayer performed as Jamie at West End Live, and I really liked how he looked and sounded in the role, so I'm hoping that I'll get to see him in the role at some point. But yeah, that was part 1 of our 2-show day. And then in the evening, we had a show that had been pre-booked from a long time ago. We went to the Southwark Playhouse to see The Rink. As I say, we literally booked this ages ago. It was so good, really enjoyed it. I love going to the Southwark Playhouse, and I love seeing loads of different productions there. This year alone I've seen Banana Man, and then Pippin, and now The Rink. I don't think there's been anything in between that. And The Rink has Caroline O'Connor in it, and she's just fantastic. And Gemma Sutton as well, just a phenomenal actress. I'm obsessed. It was a new show for me, obviously, so I'm always happy to be introduced to shows that are new to me and to see them, and I just think the way they used the space was so wonderful, and it was just a great production. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see it transfer somewhere maybe a little bit bigger for a tiny bit longer run, especially with that cast who were just amazing. So that was great. And also, oh my god, Megan Hilty was at the Southwark Playhouse when we were there to see the Rink. We spotted her as we were going in. I think it was Sean that spotted her, because I'm not that great with like being aware of my surroundings. Most of the time it's weird because I'm filming stuff. I'll focus more on the shot that I'm getting and not so much looking at what's in the shot. That sounds really weird, I know. Then Sean just nudged me and was like, Megan Hilty's here, and I was like, what? When we were like going into the auditorium, why am I welling up? Like, I'm just emotional about Megan Hilty. When we were going into the auditorium, she was in the toilet queue as we were like going to the space. And I was like, I'm definitely not gonna stop her and say hi when she's in the toilet queue. But after the show, I plucked up the courage to just quickly stop her as she was like heading out. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I have to say this, you're just amazing. And I love Smash, bring back Smash. And I'm so excited for your concert tomorrow. And she was so lovely. And we were talking about the fact that she'd had to cancel her previous concerts, which was really sad. And she was genuinely really heartbroken about it. And then she was saying like, thank you so much for rebooking and coming along. And I was like, are you kidding me? You're Megan Hilty. Of course we're gonna rebook and go. So it was a very overwhelming night and it was great. And I'm really glad that I like plucked up the courage to say hello to her, because I always feel a bit bad when it's their personal time. I don't want to disturb them, but I was like, I have to, I'm gonna kick myself otherwise. So that happened. And then the next day, literally the first 3 days of June were mental. I think I did something on the 4th as well. The next day was Megan Hilty's concert, and oh my god, actual dream come true seeing her in concert. She is just amazing. And it's so funny because last month it was Louise Dearman's concert, and I feel like her and Megan Hilty are so similar. I feel like if you brought back Sideshow, like they'd have to be in it together because they would be perfect. Would they not? Would they not be perfect? But seeing Megan live was incredible, and she has such an amazing stage presence, especially in like her own concert, because some people can be a bit awkward in their own concerts. Like they just sing the songs, you know, but Megan was like adding in stories, and her husband was part of the band, so they had that on stage banter. I think the band were like her band, so they all knew each other really well, and so there was a lot of on stage like chemistry. Sounds a bit weird, but you know when everyone just gets on, and oh god, it was just so good. It was such a good concert, and she had a really wonderful set list as well. And oh god, the Smash numbers especially, I just bring back Smash. That was amazing, and it was so worth the stress of like originally having to book tickets and then having them cancelled and then booking them again. Like it was all worth it. She was so good. And then literally the next day, I'm right, it was the busiest weekend ever. On the Monday, I went up to Birmingham to see the UK tour of Titanic. The PR team at the Birmingham Hippodrome invited me to come along, which was so lovely. As I mentioned in the vlog, it's really nice to get invited to regional productions, especially when they're like big UK tours, because it all adds up, and I want to try and see as much as I can, and also to like tell you, my audience, about as many shows as I possibly can. And it's just me doing everything, you know, so when I'm then having to like pay for everything as well, it adds up. And I would do it anyway because I obviously love theatre. Like if I didn't have my YouTube channel, I'd still go to the theatre. That's not the point, but it's just nice when there are some things that you're like, oh god, when you add on the trains and then the ticket and everything else, it's just really nice sometimes for venues to be like, hey, we appreciate you and what you do, and like talking about theatre and like spreading that knowledge, and we want to invite you along to something. Anyway, that was a really long spiel, but I don't know why I wanted to explain that, I just did. But anyway, I love Titanic. I'm a Titanic geek, and I know it sounds really weird to say that I love Titanic. I hammered on about this in the vlog, but it's a really respectful production, and I think that's the thing I love the most about it. Also the music is just stunning, and this cast are amazing. So yeah, I had a fantastic time going up to Birmingham. Also got to see my friend Amy, who I love. She's featured in vlogs here before, so you should know who she is. So yeah, that was really great. And I'm going back to the Birmingham Hippodrome next month, which is very exciting, but we'll save that for next month. Sorry that I'm talking really quickly, but I have so much to get through, so I'm just like Let's get through it, Rukaya. Let's get through it. So the next show that I saw, it was a repeat visit of a show. I went to see Kinky Boots at the Adelphi Theatre, and this was because the new cast had started. So this was their third day. I saw the Wednesday evening performance, and I booked this on Titanic. They had one of their flash sales, and I knew that obviously the new cast would have started and I wanted to see them. And as much as I love day seating for Kinky Boots and being at the front row, sometimes it's nice to be just a bit further back just so you can like see everything at once. And I'd never sat in the dress circle at Kinky Boots, so I thought, I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna see what the dress circle was like at Kinky Boots. And to be honest, I didn't love it. It wasn't massively comfortable. The view was fine. I'll talk more about it in the vlog, but yeah, but it was cheap, so that was fine. And the new cast were great. I really enjoyed them. Yeah, that vlog's not out yet. It'll be out at some point soon. But yes, I love Kinky Boots. I'm really sad that it's closing. That's another thing that was announced this month. Kinky Boots is going to be closing on the 12th of January 2019. But as I mentioned on Twitter, even though it's sad, it's had a good life in the West End, and with it closing in London, that means that the tour should hopefully do really well. So I think that's nice. I think it's better to have one or the other succeeding a lot. How to phrase this? I don't want one to flounder and the other to just kind of chug along. I'd rather they happily close the London production, celebrate its life there, and then smash it on tour. Does that make sense? I obviously love Kinky Boots, so I'm obviously sad that it's closing. There's going to be a lot of refreshing going on in the West End, so I'm intrigued as to what's going to be coming into town. But that's a whole other subject. Okay, the next thing I saw, it was another 2-show day with Sean. It wasn't going to be a 2-show day originally, it was just going to be a 1-show day. But I ended up winning tickets to the dress rehearsal of Heathers at the Other Palace. So Paul Taylor Mills, who is he's a co-producer of Heathers, currently the artistic director of the Other Palace. Yeah, he put on Twitter a competition to win tickets to the dress rehearsal, and funnily enough, the photo that he posted with it was actually my photo, so he stole that. But yeah, it was just like a retweet and then see if you win type thing, and I did. So I was like, okay Sean, we're gonna go see Heathers twice in one day, because then we saw the first preview, which we'd booked anyway, so that was fun. Big fun. It was the first professional dress rehearsal that either of us had been to, so it was really interesting to see how that kind of goes down. It ran very seamlessly actually. I was expecting maybe at some points for it to be like paused, or you know, just stage crew running around or whatever. But no, it went really seamlessly, and especially considering as that was the first time that all of the elements had come together, like the cast, the crew, the band, the lights, sound, everything in the Other Palace. So that was really interesting to watch. And then the first preview was just wild, so wild. I love going to first previews because the energy is just unreal. Like, it's amazing. We had really good seats. I remember when the tickets went on sale, I just went down to the Other Palace to book them in person because I knew the website was going to crash. So I went down and I got us, like, at that time it was second price ticket, so it was like 50 per person, but it was the 4th row right in the middle. It was honestly a perfect view. It felt like for the majority of the time the cast members like were looking directly at us, so fantastic view. Heathers is wild. It was really great as well because Sean and I saw the workshop of Heathers at the Other Palace in the studio last year, so it was really nice to kind of come full circle and see the full production now, especially like together. That was really nice and I loved it. I'm a Heathers fan, hence this, if you might not have noticed it, but keep an eye out on my Twitter for something related to this. Don't know why I went a bit Australian there, but it happened. The next show that I saw was also with Sean and Olivia as well, and we all went to see Bat Out of Hell at the, I was about to say the Coliseum, that was last year, at the Dominion Theatre. If you're a long time viewer, you might remember that when I saw Bat Out of Hell last year, I did not enjoy it. Update, still don't love it. I wanted to give it a second chance, especially being in the Dominion. I wanted to see how I felt about it a year later. Definitely fits the space of the Dominion a lot more. I feel like it's It's just kind of a bit tighter in a sense, but in a good way, not in a bad way. And I still love the visuals of the show. I think some of the stuff they do in the show is epic, but it's the book that just infuriates me, and I can't get past like how bad it is. The performers are amazing though. It has one of the hardest working casts in the West End. Just the book frustrates me to no end. And I'm not like the biggest fan of the music anyway, like I wouldn't actively listen to it outside of the show, but I'm glad that I saw it again. I'm glad that I saw it with Sean and Olivia, because honestly we just laughed so much that night, not like during the show. We met up for dinner beforehand, and like honestly we were just laughing so much. There was a bit of laughter during the show as well for various reasons, but yeah, it was just a really fun night. I'm glad that we had a good time anyway. I feel like if I'd gone to see Bat Out of Hell on my own, I would have really not enjoyed it. Funnily enough, the next show that I saw was another one that I don't really like. I've seen it before and I didn't like it, but I went to see Chicago because that is on in the West End at the moment at the Phoenix Theatre. I saw Chicago on Broadway a few years ago now, back in 2015, and we had really uncomfortable seats. So I really think that that is one of the main reasons why I didn't love the show, because I was like in pain throughout the show. And it's funny actually, I remember saying for the last few years that if Chicago were to come back into the West End, I would give it another chance. I would see how I feel about it. And I'm really glad that I have done, because I definitely enjoyed the show more this time round. We had really good seats on the fourth row of the stalls, so nice and close, and it just made such a difference. And also the cast as well. I think my main draw was Ruthie Henschel, because she's just amazing, but also there was a few ensemble members that I've seen in various other shows, so it was nice to revisit it. Well, see it. It's not a different version of it, it's pretty much the same, isn't it? But I don't know, I feel like it just felt a lot better on the West End, even though Cuba Gooding Jr. was awful, but that's besides the point. Overall, I just enjoyed it more, and I felt like I was more engaged with the show because I was closer, I was comfortable. Good job, Chicago. You've changed my mind. Not completely, but I have better feelings towards you now. The next exciting thing that happened in June was, of course, West End Live. Best stagey weekend of the year. Though saying that, actually, overall, I don't think this is my favourite West End Live. Also, it was because of some of the acts performing. So I'd say overall, as a whole package, not my fave, not my top one, but still had a great weekend, obviously. It's a wonderful weekend because I know a lot of people, and it's one of those events where I'll just walk around and I'll see just loads of people that I know, and it's like loads of mini catch-ups and things like that, and so I love it for that. But also I really loved it because I felt like they had more new shows performing this year, like new and small shows, which was really fantastic. So for example, there were performances from Six, from Heathers, from Eugenius. I was here for it. I was so pumped that they got to perform, especially Six. I feel like Six are like, it's like a baby show. Like, I love it so much, and it's such a small show at the moment. Hopefully it'll get like bigger and bigger, but the fact that they got to do their performance when they're not even in London until September, I just loved that. And there was such positive feedback from that performance, like from my social media. I've had people telling me how much they loved it, and like on my YouTube, just in person as well, and like everyone, I'm like, go see Six, go see Six. They're performing in Norwich, Cambridge, Edinburgh, and then London over this summer. If you're near any of those areas, you have no excuse. But also Eugenius, the same. Like, they're not back until the end of the year, but everyone was so pumped to see them. Just seeing the audience reaction, I was like, my babies, I'm so proud. And then Heathers as well, obviously, like that's completely sold out, so it didn't really need the promo, but it was fantastic to see a show from the other palace like performing there. I just loved that. It was great. It was amazing. I just had a really fun weekend. I love West End Live. I feel like it was a bit too big, like in terms of how many people were there this year. I think they need to like move venue maybe, but that's a whole other discussion. I love it. It's my favourite weekend of the year still because I just love it. There's such a buzz, and as I say, just getting to see people who I rarely get to see, that's like the best thing about it. Oh, I had such a good time. Straight after West End Live, it was the first preview of Fun Home, which Sean, Olivia and I went to. It's like the whole squad's been together loads this month. I love it. I booked these tickets on the Today Tickets pre-sale like a year ago. It was so long ago. But it meant I had really good seats for £25. We were row H, right in the middle, fantastic view. I knew the song Ring of Keys and that was it. It was such a gorgeous production. I don't want to spoil too much because like, I feel like it's one of those that when you see it, especially if you don't know what's going to happen, there are some like set moments especially, oh my god. So I don't want to spoil anything, but the performances were amazing. It's quite a small cast and it was really lovely to be back in the Young Vic. I've realised actually it's probably one of my favourite venues because of how versatile it is. It's kind of the same whenever I see something at the other palace. I'm like, oh my god, the space. But the Young Vic even more so because the last thing I saw there was The Life of Galileo. That was in the round and that's how I presumed Fun Home was going to be because when Fun Home was on Broadway, it was at the Circle in the Square Theatre, but Fun Home is not in the round here. But it feels like a completely different space kind of every time I visit. It just blows my mind. It's amazing. Fun Home. Whew. That's a roller coaster of emotions, that one as well. So that had me feeling things, which is good. That's what great theatre does, obviously. After that, the next show that I saw was Heathers. I've now seen it 3 times in June. I've got a trip booked for July and then August as well. I went because Sam Forgod, the lovely Sam Forgod, could not go, so I stole her ticket. I was like, hun, you can't go, I'm taking that ticket. Oh my god, it was amazing. And it was Eddie that booked it, my friend Eddie. He originally booked the tickets and he did good. He booked good seats. So we were row J, I was row J, seat 11, and it was fantastic. I mean, there's not really a bad seat at the other palace. If you're at the row front or if you're at the row back, that's not the best views, just because at the front you are literally at the front and then at the back you've just got a bit of the overhang blocking the top bit of the set. But I don't think, like, I stood at the back for a little bit after the show when I last saw it because I'm sat there for one of my trips, so I was like, I'm just gonna check out the view, and I don't think you'll miss really anything. So that's good. Love that. And yeah, we went on a Thursday matinee and even then the audiences were still like wild, so I loved that. It was so good. It's such a good show. It has its flaws. It has a couple of things I have issues with, but really overall I bloody love it. It's great. That evening after Heathers, I went to a very different show. Sean and I met up. So much Sean this month. And we went to the first preview of The King and I. So that was the first preview that we've been to this month. How insane is that? So insane. So yeah, we went to see The King and I at the gorgeous London Palladium, and it is such a London Palladium show. Like, it is divine. And we were sat right up in the top, second row of the upper circle. We weren't sat next to each other, unfortunately. I think Sean booked first. I dilly-dallied and then didn't end up right next to him. I was like 6 seats across or something. The legroom was trash, so I was so uncomfortable, and I'm already really excited to see it again, hopefully from better seats, because Today Tix are doing rush tickets, so hopefully I'll be able to get something better at still an affordable price, because otherwise it's very expensive at the Palladium. But oh my goodness, the show was amazing. And Kelly O'Hara is like a literal goddess. She is incredible. And the entire production just oozes with like beauty, and it's quite simple in a way. Like, it's not too flashy really, but oh my god, it's just so stunning. So if you get the chance to see it, please do go see it. It's just wonderful. More on that in the vlog, which will be out at some point. And then the last couple of things that are happening this month haven't actually happened yet. I'm going on holiday next week, so I needed to film this before I go away. But tonight I'm going to see School of Rock, and I've been to see School of Rock before. I saw it at the start of last year. It's been ages. And my friend Josh is a swing in the show, but he's on tonight, so I really wanted to see him. So I day sat this morning. It was so easy. I literally like turned up at 10:30, got my ticket and came back home. It was the easiest day seat ever. I loved it. Yeah, I've got a really good seat for that tonight, and I will be vlogging it because it's been such a long time since I've seen the show, and it will be a better view and everything, so I will vlog it. And then speaking of Josh, we're gonna go see Fun Home again next week. Yeah, I'm gonna vlog obviously that Fun Home trip. I just didn't really fancy vlogging on the first preview. I just wanted to enjoy it and not worry about it, but yeah, I will vlog the second trip, so you'll be able to see and hear all of my opinions on the show. That won't be up until probably second week of July, just because, as I say, I'm going on holiday and it's my birthday, so I'm very excited. And also, oh my goodness, another exciting thing that I've done in June, I've booked the Edinburgh Fringe. Yes! I've been saying it basically since the start of the year. I'm pretty sure I put it in my resolutions video. I was like, gonna go to the Edinburgh Fringe. And then in the last month, as the shows have been announced and the schedule and everything, and people have been like, oh, are you going to the Fringe? What are you seeing? And I'm like, yeah, and I'm gonna try and see this, 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 and this. And I was like, I actually should book it, because otherwise the tickets are, like, the prices for everything are just gonna go up. Like, accommodation is ridiculous in Edinburgh in summer, because obviously everyone knows that they're coming for the Fringe. So I thought, right, I need to book that like now, before I like chicken out, it gets too expensive and I'll be like, oh, next year. But also because Sean is doing a play at the Edinburgh Fringe this year, and I think he'd probably kill me if I missed it. Obviously, I am going up to the Fringe. I'm going in the first week. I am so excited. I'm a bit scared. I've already got like 18 shows kind of penciled in to my schedule, so it's gonna be mental. But obviously I'd love to know if you're gonna be at the Fringe, what you'd recommend, if you've seen any of the shows that are going back. I am gonna make a video actually of like 6 of the shows that I'm really excited to see, and also 4 that I won't be able to see because they're not on while I'm there. But from what I've heard, like the synopsis, or from what people have said, that I wish I could see and that you should see if you are there in that time period. Yeah, I'm really excited for the Fringe, and I'm hoping that the vlogs are gonna be like epic, hopefully. But yeah, that was my June. Oh my gosh, longest curtain up ever, but it was a very exciting month. July is definitely gonna be more chill because then I'll be preparing for Edinburgh, so let's see how July goes. Obviously, I would love to know what you've been to see this month. I've met loads of viewers this month, which is really wonderful, at like Heather's especially, West End Live, so that was really nice. Thank you to anyone and everyone that's come up to say hello to me. I really appreciate it. Also, I met a viewer in Cafe Nero the other day, which was random and brilliant. I loved that. Thank you so much for watching. Leave comments down below if you've seen any of the shows that I've been to see, or like what you've seen in general, because I love to know. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of me in the future. I hope you're all doing really well. I hope this month has been brilliant for you. I know probably a lot of you have been doing exams, so I hope they've all gone well. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!